Hello and welcome to my video on how I print out photos to put in our homeschool planner so that we have a record of projects that we've done and experiences that we've had and things that have made us laugh or just memorable times that we have had together. And I put it in my homeschool planner year after year after year so that we can come back and look at it and remember that specific activity that happened during that time. I use a Canon Selfie CP1300 to print my pictures for my homeschool portfolio. There are a lot of printers on the market these days for printing at home and for printing small pictures. There are so many options, but I got this a few years ago and have loved it. One of the main reasons why I chose this is because over time, some of the home printers, the ink can fade and it gets really neutralized and you can hardly see the image. And all of the information that I read about the Canon Selfie was that it would be a picture that we would be able to keep and to be able to look at for years, just as if you went somewhere and got pictures printed out. And so that was the main driving force behind choosing this printer. Okay, so the first thing that I do is after taking pictures, I go into albums, and I have a lot of different albums here, but I chose to make one that says to print. That way, when I am in my photos, I can go into a photo. We're creating a Rox-a-Box in here. If you don't know it, let me know and I'll leave a link below to the book that we got the idea from. So you take this little box down here and you will send it to the album, and I will choose to print. That's where it's gonna go. And then now that photo is in this album. So I have all 38 pictures in here that I need to print. Now what I do is I go into an app called PicStitch. There's a lot of different ways to do this, but this is the way that I know, so that's what I am going to share with you. So I will just choose this just square right here. I tap on it. The first thing that I want to show you so that we don't forget is we go into aspect, and I will change that to a 4:6. And then what you do is you hit the plus buttons, and now I go into my phone and I find my to print folder. And then what I will do is I will start down at the bottom at the older ones, and I will choose 4 photos because that's all that will fit. I choose done. I will then click and drag the photos into each square. Sometimes you may want to rotate. So you will tap on the little pencil in the corner. This is a snow fort that we knew was gonna melt, so we wanted a picture of it. So you rotate it, and now you can see when it prints out, it will choose more of it. And you can actually move the picture, you can make it bigger or smaller. So now I've got my 4 pictures. So at this point I choose export. One thing to realize when you're using PicStitch is it is going to make you watch ads when you do this. So you choose save to photos, and now it's in my photos. To avoid watching the ads every single time you do this, you can also just change the picture one at a time. And if you have a to print folder and you are going in order, it is very easy to keep track of where you are. It's just a way that you can avoid the ads, or you can start over and just watch the ad again. The main thing to remember is to change this aspect. You really need your aspect to be at a 4:6 in order for this to work with the Canon Selfie. So now what you'll do is go into your Photos app, pull up your photo, hit the box with the arrow to send the picture that you just did on PicStitch to the printer. So you scroll down and you choose print, And then you will choose your Canon Selfie. It's gathering the printer data, and you go ahead and click on print. You can see it's now wirelessly getting the information for the photo. It is a little slow. It does take a little bit of time to go from my camera to the selfie. So you can see it printed the yellow ink first, and now it is doing the red ink. It does the primary colors. It'll go back through and it will print the blue. And that is one of the reasons why I think this ink stays, is it does this 3 different colors, and then it actually goes over it one more time for the covering, for the clear covering, and you have your 4 pictures. So I like printing this in 4 for a couple reasons. Number 1, it makes my printer paper last longer, and it fits in my homeschool planner really well. So I can see here we did the Ben Franklin project, which is this picture, during this week. And so just use my tape runner to make it be adhesive, and then put it in the spot. And it is, you can peel it up with this, but sometimes it makes the paper warp, and if it's thin paper, it will rip the paper, but you can peel it up. I just suggest really trying not to do that. And then next, I know that it snowed the week before, and so this, because of the timing of when I put it into the album and that I printed these out in chronological order, that this snow fort we did early in this week. Now, this one, because you guys saw me print it out and change it to be horizontal, it is not going to fit in these vertical columns very easily, but I have a lot of space here, and so I will just put it right there in between the two, and it's just a nice thing to remember that beginning of the week that we did that. I also wanted to talk price point. This right now is $130 basically on Amazon and Best Buy. That is more expensive than when I got it a few years ago, but it does seem like with all of the issues that we're facing right now in the world, prices are just going up. So it is $130, but it has lasted me years and saved me a lot of money on getting things printed out, you know, at Walmart and getting things shipped by Snapfish, and so I think it's worth it. I will say you do have to buy the ink and paper set. Each ink cartridge is good for a couple packs of paper. The one thing I will say is you need to make sure that you pay attention to how you take the old cartridge out so that you put this in exactly right and you keep it so that it doesn't mess up the film that's inside of there, because if this rejects it, then you've wasted the ink and the paper as well. And this right now is about $30, but it does last me a while because it is 108 photos, and because I'm printing 4 on each one, that gets me to 400 photos. So now that I have all of my photos printed out, I will just cut them all out, use my tape runner, and put them into my planner. I am planning on sharing what this looks like for the whole year and even multiple years in a video next month. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions about this, please leave it down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time.